Keep you guys waiting. Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Well, I first go through your scan, which is actually very, very important.
Yeah.
And I do see that thing at the base of your brain. What have you been told so far by your docs back home?
That it's on the Foreman Magnum, and the only thing that I was told by University of Iowa, I saw a neurosurgeon. The first one, he said he didn't feel comfortable doing surgery, and so he referred me to a different neurosurgeon. He said that it would be risky because he'd have to move like vital arteries out of the way and go through the side. He didn't give me other options.
Yeah. Now, what was the reason for the scan being done?
I have a sunken spot on the top of my head, and it's painful. And I've only had it for the last few years. I feel like it's gotten bigger, and so
so they did the scan looking for that.
Yeah,
and they found
yeah, incidental.
That's actually good because they probably told you that this is very likely a meningioma.
Yeah.
Yeah, and many meningiomas, like this is the brain tumor corridor. I'd say for every 20 meningioma patients whom I see, maybe 2 are symptomatic, meaning they actually had the scan done because that tumor was causing the symptoms. Why is it that then the great majority are like you? Because they're slow growing. And, you know, your brain and your spine will actually accommodate a pretty good shift in real estate long as the uninvited guest is polite. Kind of like, you know, imagine if you're visiting New York, you know, you have tourists go to a concert or something, and you're going to the subway cars. And long as people are saying, excuse me, coming through, you can pack in a lot of people into that car. But there will come a time when eventually the car is so packed that 1 or 2 extra passengers can make the difference between it's okay, you're like reading your newspaper or eyes going like this, that's your personal space in New York, to, oh geez, it's hard to breathe, and get off my toe guy kind of a thing. So that area, I'll show you the pictures, it's kind of crowded. So why is she still able to walk and stuff? Because if that was, let's say, God forbid, but you had a lung cancer and it metastasized to that foramen magnum, which simply is Latin for big hole. Foramen is hole, magnum is big. It's the big hole at the base of the skull. If it grew quickly, it's an impolite bunch of people rushing into the subway car. Someone's going to trip or get stepped on or something, or elbow the little lady by accident. So you're going to cause a bit of a ruckus. And so a cancerous malignant tumor would always cause symptoms in this location. Whereas, excuse me, you know, it's a polite but uninvited guest. And that's what meningiomas are. Did they tell you what meninges is?
The protective layer of the brain?
Yeah, it's not even that protective because it's like super thin. It's more like a saran wrap that goes over your brain and spine. And it's more like a waterproofing sheet. So you ever see houses go up and before they nail on the siding, you see that paper flapping in the wind? Yeah, that's the Tyvek. My father was an architect.
Oh, yes,
and so I
I
had to ask my dad, what's that paper, Dad? Oh, yeah, you know, son, the sidings, what protects the house from the elements like the hail, snow, and all that. But that paper is like a waterproofing membrane for the house so that the moisture doesn't get into the house and causes, you know, rot and all that stuff. Well, the meninges, but that paper, you know, you could take a scissor and cut it. So it's not really protective. It's more of a vapor barrier, isn't it? That's what this is. Your brain actually produces a fluid called cerebrospinal fluid. And it's a lubricant that goes over your brain and spine. But you don't want to lose it. So how do you seal it up? Oh, get the saran wrap out, the meninges. And that's kind of like a hermetic seal. And how much protection does it offer? Not much, because it's, you know, it's like if you wore, regular socks have some padding, but let's say you're wearing nylons. And that's really, your meninges wouldn't be much thicker than your nylons. So it's not really that protective, but it keeps you from getting blisters on your feet, doesn't it? Yeah, same thing. You don't want the brain rubbing against the inside of the skull because inside of the skull is not perfectly smooth. It has some ridges. Every time you shake your head after a swim or a shower, you don't want your brain go rubbing against bony ridges because it might get injured. But when it's lined by this ultra smooth meninges, the brain has a bit of a wiggle.
Wow.
So that's really what meninges is, and therefore a meningioma is a tumor that arises from the saran wrap cover over your brain or spine. Your tumor chose a site where it's in the transition between brain to spine, and that's what the foramen magnum is. Now, you're only 30 something.
Yeah, 31.
So
Yeah.
I could guarantee you, eventually, you're going to need this attended to.
Okay.
But what if you said, I was minding my own business. I didn't go in for this. I went in for this.
Yeah.
What do I do about it? You're going to meet our surgical team here as well. But they're not going to say to you, okay, let's take you tomorrow. We probably could. But it's more going to be, well, there's 3 options, least to most aggressive. The least aggressive would be, let's leave her alone. And if one day it starts to grow, and it will, but it's not this kind of a growth. Meningiomas grow a little bit, then they stay the same size, not for months, sometimes years, if not decades.
Wow.
Yeah, I have this one guy. He has a meningioma in a slightly higher application than yours. I met him when he was 64 years and 363 days. He was 2 days shy of retirement. Wow. Okay? And he fell because he didn't salt his steps, and he whacked his head and he lost consciousness, so they did a scan. And he said, I didn't bargain on this. I fell. I should have salted my steps. Yeah, I don't have a fracture, but they told me I have this meningioma. Unlike yours, his is like huge.
Oh.
And he said, I don't get it. How can I be normal? So he's a fire chief. So he can actually lift people out of a fire. But at 64, he was going to retire. So he went to Arizona. And to this day, he sends me a scan every year.
Wow.
It's been 17 years.
Oh.
And the tumor's not grown. And he asked me, I don't get it. It must have grown to get to be that big size. Why did it switch to hibernation mode? Well, meningiomas are, if anything, reliably unreliable. But in a good, they don't grow like cancers where they have a very, very predictable growth rate.
Okay.
So that's why we can predict when a person's going to die of cancer pretty accurately. Meningiomas, that gentleman, we haven't done anything. We haven't operated. We haven't hit him with radiation. We told him one day we're going to need to do something about it. 17 years has gone by. He's now 81, 82. And he says to me, hey, doc, I'm dying of old age. My knees are shot. Can't play golf much anymore. Never could because he's a hack. He puts it. He's got back problems. He smokes, so he's got heart problems now, hypertension, COPD, emphysema. Said, doc, I thought the tumor would kill me. And so he took up some bad habits, or never curtailed. Yeah, I'll call him Mr. Smith. I told you this tumor's not going to kill you. You should have stopped smoking. I tell you every year you should stop smoking. So I know. All right, well, I'm 81 now. Is it too late? No, sir, it's not too late. So he stopped smoking.
Wow, that's awesome.
Because he figured he's going to kick the bucket. Why even stop eating Twinkies?
Yeah.
And so he's overweight, smokes, COPD. Yeah. But 17 years. Has gone by. But 17 plus 31, that's still younger than me.
Yeah.
You're going to be 48 by then. Then what? We might have to do something. And for a young patient, the first option is really going to be a surgery. And don't feel that because a couple of surgeons have said to you, we're not comfortable doing it. That just means that surgical team is not comfortable doing it. So very much like, you could have a Cadillac in your driveway and a sports utility vehicle. Okay, if you're going to just go driving to South Dakota to see the Mount Rushmore, it's just a highway drive. May as well take the Cadillac because it's nice highway driving. If you're going to go off-roading, Cadillac's not going to do well. Maybe more expensive than your SUV, but your SUV is going to fare better. So surgeons are like that too. You want the correct vehicle for this terrain. And we'll get that for you. But the least aggressive option is to leave it alone, and either A, when it starts to grow, or B, she starts to get symptomatic. Well, then the hand is forced. Right? It's all right, I don't want to do it, but I get it, we'll do it. But by then you'll be aware of the risk of the surgery, how long you might be in the hospital and all that. And all that would have had time to process. The other option is, should we shoot her with radiation? We could, but if this was your grandma, who's, let's say, in her late 70s and was starting to grow, gamma knife. This focal beam radiation would be a perfect fit because it could keep the tumor from growing for 15 or 20 years. So if she's 71, geez, maybe that's perfect for her, right? But at 31, if we hit you with gamma knife now, one, if it doesn't grow next year or the year after, he's going to ask, is it you guys that we should thank for this, or maybe it would have grown because you told me about this guy who's had it for 17 years. But if we shot it and it doesn't grow, you won't know, is it due to the radiation or is it due to just the natural history of the tumor? So